I have no formal education in accounting and finance, and I would just like some advice from you regarding an approach to educate myself in a reading list of basic texts, obviously starting with the Berkshire Hathaway annual reports. Thank you.
I was always so interested in it from such a young age that my approach was to go to the Omaha Public Library and just take out every book there was on the subject. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot that wasn't true in the process too. I got very interested in charting and all that sort of thing and buying stocks. But I did it by just a tremendous amount of reading. But it was easy for me because it was like going to baseball games or something of the sort. And in terms of naming specific texts in accounting, you may want to read some of the better even magazine articles that have appeared. I mean, there've been or newspaper articles. There've been some good commentary about accounting there.
I think both of us learn more from the great business magazines than we do anywhere else. It's such an easy shorthand way of getting a vast variety of business experience, just to riffle through issue after issue, covering a great variety of businesses. And if you get the mental habit of relating what you're reading to the basic structure of the underlying ideas being demonstrated, you gradually accumulate some wisdom about investing. I don't think you can get to be a really good investor over a broad range without doing a massive amount of reading. I don't think there's any one book that will do it for you.
Yeah. You might think about picking out 5 or 10 companies where you feel quite familiar with their products, maybe, but not necessarily so familiar with their financials and all of that. But pick out something so at least you understand if you understand their products, you know what's going on in the business itself, and then get lots of annual reports and through the internet or something else, get all the magazine articles that have been written on those companies for 5 or 10 years. Just sort of immerse yourself as if you were either going to work for the company or they'd hired you as the CEO or you were going to buy the whole business. I mean, you can look at it in any of those ways. And when you get all through, ask yourself, what do I not know that I need to know? Many years ago, I would go around and I would talk to competitors always. You'd talk to employees of the company and ask those kind of questions. That's in effect what I did with my friend Lorimer Davidson when I first met him at Geico, except I started from ground zero. But I just kept asking him questions. And that's what it really is. One of the questions I would ask, if I were interested in the ABC company, I would go to the XYZ company and try and learn a lot about it. Now, you know, there's spin on what you get, but you learn to discern it. Essentially, you're being a reporter. I mean, it's very much like journalism. And if you ask enough questions, Andy Grove has in his book, he talks about the silver bullet. You know, you talk to the competitor and you say, if you had a silver bullet and you could only put it through the head of one of your competitors, which one would it be and why? Well, you'll learn a lot if you ask questions like that over time. And you ask somebody in the XYZ industry and you say, if you're going to go away for 10 years and you had to put all of your money into one of your competitors, the stock of one of your competitors, not your own, which one would it be and why? You just keep asking and asking and asking. And you'll have to discount the answers you get in certain ways, but you will be getting things poured into your head that then you can use to reformulate and do your own thinking about why you evaluate this business at this or that. The accounting, you know, you just sort of have to labor your way through that. You may be able to take some courses even in that. But the biggest thing is to find out how businesses operate.